Hey, so today what I want to share with you is how to work on practicing forearm stand or Pincha Mayurasana. Um, for this level of practice, it would be nice if you have been practicing inversions for a while already and you're quite comfortable in your headstand and you can stay in downward dog and dolphin for a while and not feel very tired. You should be able to hold a good plank and also feel engagement in your upper arms when you are on plank or on forearm plank, low plank, okay? This will take a while to learn because the shape of the body is unusual. We hardly ever do anything in the day where we really press the forearms on the ground and find balance with our body upside down. So this is something very new to the body and will take time to learn. So what I do want you to have is a stable yoga practice, a good firm foundation in your downward facing dog where you already know how to press your thumb and index finger on the ground, spread the fingers wide. You know how to depress your shoulders away from your ears and find real length both in the front and the back of your spine. And just to feel a nice sense of ease having the body upside down. Okay, so if you already have that stable practice, then this tutorial might be for you. A good way to warm up before you get into Mayurasana Pincha is to come to dolphin pose, where you just, from downward facing dog, you can just slowly bring your elbows down onto the floor and you can have your arms parallel to each other here, or you can even interlace your fingers here just for a little bit more traction so you can push up a little bit more. And try to stay here for maybe 15-20 breaths. Just breathing deeply here, pushing your elbow and the back of your pinky fingers on the ground, and really trying to elevate the shoulders so that the shoulders are a little bit farther away from your ears. If you can hinge these shoulders right on top of the elbows and engage the belly here, that's nice. And staying here for maybe 15-20 breaths. And then when you're ready, you can just slowly bring your knees down and rest in child's pose. Now, if this is something that's doable for you, then you can bring your mat near a wall, and it would be really helpful if you had a block. Now, because I don't have a block, I have a stack of hardbound books because the hardbound books are a little bit heavier, and they should be more or less about the size of a block, maybe 25 cm. Just about the length of the front of your chest. That should be a good distance, okay? A good size. So a good practice is to bring your block or your stack of books right in front of you. And when we practice forearm stand, I see a lot of people practicing their forearm and they're really, really close to a wall like this. And what that does is it doesn't allow for space for the legs to go up and over and stack nicely. And the tendency is that the feet tend to find the wall very easily and you don't get to practice your balance. Also, the neck doesn't have enough space to reach slightly forward. So don't practice your pincha, your forearm stand very close to the wall like this, okay? There's not enough space here. Allow the legs to have some space to reach over so that it can find its own balance when you are learning. So with my block or stack of books on the floor, what you can start doing is bringing your elbows on the mat and clipping the corners of your block or your book with the crevice of the thumb and the pointer fingers. So just have them hugging in the corners of your block or book. And the motion is squeezing the crevice to the corner and pressing down with your thumb and your index finger. Okay, so in this position, my forearms are about shoulder width wide and my shoulders are stacked right on top of my elbows. Now, when I come up, the tendency is we try to find our balance swinging the shoulders so far forward like this or a little bit to the back like this. Now, anatomically, it's just not possible to find your balance and keep the balance when your shoulders are not stacked right on top of the elbows, okay? It's just not going to carry the weight efficiently. So what you can do is try practicing pressing your palms down with your blocker book in the center, squeezing it with the crevices of your thumb and index finger, and then rooting down with the hands, and then really pressing your elbows down on the floor here. And then see that the shoulders are more or less on top of your elbows, and then slowly lift your hips up. Zip the belly in here, and then just practice breathing deeply here. Feeling that in order to keep my hips afloat, I need to be really pressing the elbows down on the floor. So you're gonna wanna gaze a little bit farther forward so that there's more space in your neck. And you wanna pull your shoulders away from the neck here, from the ears. So keep gazing forward here. Belly is strong, lots of strength on the forearms. And you wanna just lift one leg up. Maybe hover for a few breaths and then bring it down. And then just change the sides, lift one leg up, hover for a few breaths and bring it down. And then rest in child's pose. And then try to feel that just in that position, you're already activating the front and back of your arms and really needing to use the belly to keep the hips up. Okay, so when you're ready to come up, same thing. Learn to press your thumb and index finger down onto the ground. Keep your shoulders stacked right on top of your elbows here so that you're efficient in stacking the body. And then slowly push your knees off the mat. Keep your gaze maybe in between your thumbs here. Lift one leg up. See if you can swing one leg up. Keep it afloat and come back down. Maybe the other side, lift up. See if you can keep afloat, come back down. And if that feels easy for you, then keeping the shoulders on top of the elbows, you're gonna try to float up. Now don't worry if you swing your legs a little bit over because there's a wall right in front of you to catch your fall, okay? So let's try this one more time. Just keeping that alignment, learning to press your forearms, fingertips, and elbows on the floor, keeping the belly zipped in. On your next inhale, just lift up. And then see if you can swing the other leg off the mat. Now, if you banana back a lot, you can try flexing your feet and seeing if the arch on the lower back disappears. But based on my experience, if I point my toes, there's less weight on the body and it's easier for me to balance. So let's try that one more time. Keep the gaze steady. Pressure on the thumb and index finger rooting downward. Feel the elbows rooting down, shoulders stacked right on top of the elbows. Keep your belly zipped in. Keep the gaze steady here. Move with your breath, knees up. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, one leg up, exhale down. Other leg up, inhale, exhale down. And then just see if you can catch your balance here. Inhale, find the wall if you need to. Lift one leg up, try to stack your hips on top of the shoulders and see if you can rotate the thighs inward so that you can find your balance here, bringing the legs together. Breathing deeply here, keep squeezing your block or your book with your hands, reaching your toes up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your legs up. That's a lot of workout. Now, I also see sometimes that people use their feet to push the wall away from them. And what happens here is if you are not concentrating on reaching your toes up towards the ceiling, you banana back a lot. So what happens is if we aim at touching the wall instead of reaching the toes up, it seems like a very deep back bend instead of a forearm stand. So we come up, reach for the wall, and you're trying to push the wall away from your body here, and then you can't find your balance because you're not stacked properly. The shoulders are beyond the elbows. So instead of reaching for the wall, when you come up, think about reaching your toes up towards the ceiling. Drishti is very important here so that the direction of your neck is relaxed. So just keep your gaze downwards, pressing the hands down. You know that the wall is there to secure your fall, but don't look for it. Instead, reach the toes up towards the ceiling. Pressure on the hands, engaging the belly. Keep the gaze steady here. Lift one leg up, inhale. Reach the toes up towards the ceiling instead of moving it to the back. If you find your wall here, that's fine, but don't put any weight on it. I need to be able to lift my toes off the wall. And then reach that other leg up. And then see if the legs can meet in the center. Keep working on keep pressing the fingertips on the floor. And then when you're down, you can just slowly dismount into your child's pose. Okay, that was sweaty. Okay, so when we're learning to balance very near a wall, the body is not given the opportunity to find equilibrium, okay? Because having one leg on the front and one leg on the back allows the body to kind of seesaw a little bit, and it teaches the body to find where the balance can land safely, okay? So don't bring your Mayurasana, your Pincha, very near a wall, okay? Maybe an arm's width distance from a wall is a healthy distance. Make sure you're practicing on pressing this crevice of your hand down on the floor and really trying to press the entire span of your forearms on the mat. Have your elbows rooting down as much as you can, like you do in a headstand. And then stack the shoulders right on top of the elbows so that your alignment is conducive to weight bearing. When you lift one leg up, don't aim to reach for the wall. The wall is there to secure your fall, but really what you want is for your toes to reach up towards the ceiling, creating some length in the body so you're not dumping weight on your shoulders, okay? So keep reaching the legs upwards. Try to zip your thighs in towards each other to compress the weight, and then breathe deeply, keeping the gaze steady and having enough space around the neck so it doesn't feel cramped. It's more efficient in carrying weight when the tops of your shoulders are expanded as much as possible. I hope those help to start introducing you to a Pincha practice. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments or DM me. Have a great day, everybody.